Hey everyone, today is August 30th, 2023. We're out here deep in the wilderness. Can you see the amount of flies buzzing in front of the camera? Hopefully too many of them guys don't end up in my eyes. There's literally dozens of them in front of the camera. At least they're not in front of my face. The last time we were out here to this location, there was a massive hole right here because the beavers were flooding out the road. They've since filled it in and graded it. It looks pretty nice. Because they graded it and we just got a massive rainstorm earlier today and yesterday, there's a bunch of potholes forming just because the road is just so extremely soft. So the reason this was backing up is because the beavers had clogged the drainage ditch. We unclogged the drainage ditch and got that flowing down to the next pipe. Amazingly, that hump right there is not a pipe. The pipe is way down there and around the corner, the only one we could locate. There might be one that's just filled in on both sides that we can't find, but it began crossing here, causing a big flood. Now in this direction here, there was also water crossing down there. It has not started back up again. I guess the beaver dam is not that bad yet, but it looks just as bad. Maybe we just have less rain. It rained on my way in here. Vehicle's very muddy, but the sun beating down on me, that's strong. Amazingly, all summer has been cooler than average. It's been rainier than average, but suddenly, starting tomorrow, the forecast here in Maine, almost every day is in the mid-80s, and suddenly no rain. But it only lasts about a week. We just got a little taste of summer coming for this week. So right here we got the culvert pipe. You see, still got some open area. I can see a little bit of current going in. Reason it's not backing up, that must be an older pipe right there. And we're gonna get this to drain. There's a couple feet of elevation loss. You guys will see it coming out of here on camera number 2 that we're gonna start up right now. And this area here has a beaver dam like right down there. It doesn't affect the road, but this area will temporarily rise a little bit. And camera number 2 is on. Woo! All right, let's go over to the other side of the road and get this started. Oh, is that a frog? Yeah, little frog right there. Ooh, stinky gas bubbles. Look at all that. Frog was easy to catch. Not quite sure where he went, but he's not in front of the pipe now. Wow, that water is so cold. I can feel it right through the big high boots because I'm wearing shorts underneath here. I usually don't wear shorts and usually don't feel that. I usually got a good insulation barrier. All right, let's get this out. This shouldn't take too long. Yeah, it should not take this that long. Let's get going. Oh yeah, that's not a hard one. Unless there's giant sticks and stuff underneath it I'm not seeing. Like, there's a couple right there. Look at that. There we go. Get that current to help us. This is a secondary pond. Nothing lives here. And a beer can. I love the ones you can loosen up and just give them a push. Part of the dam anyways. There we go. Whole thing basically just let loose. We're just tearing apart a little bit of foundation. Wow, that all made it out of the pipe at once. The last time we were at this location and did that, it got stuck at the end and we had to help it a little bit. Not this time, look at that. All clear. A little bit of debris in the front will loosen up. In the current while we got it, we'll take it away. I always love when we get it to go through. Nice and fast. What did that take us? Probably under a minute of actual unclogging. Most blockages literally takes us more time to set up than even do it. In reality, it literally takes like probably 1,000 times longer to even locate the clog in the first place. But this will drain back pretty fast. Look at all the leaves and stuff Any dam will collect sediment, and this is all the sediment that's been backing up in this flood and also backing up in the drainage ditch. You hear rocks and stuff tumbling through the pipe right now. If this would have got a little bit worse, it would have probably flooded the road. And not this week though, it's supposed to be pretty warm. The sun beating down on me sure feels hot. Haven't really felt the sun all summer, so I am sure welcoming a little bit of summer temps. I know some of you guys live in places you've been experiencing like 100 degrees all summer. Not here. Almost every single day is like 60. It's nice to feel a little bit of heat, although I don't really like the heat. I mainly want it for the nice sunshine and blue skies. It's been a depressing year with all the wildfire smoke literally every day. I think this week is finally going to be nice and sunny. What is that down there? There's like some square container way down in the swamp. Camera number 2 off. Should we go investigate that? Is that a gas can or a container of DEF fluid? We're not going to think too much into it, but let's see if I can walk down there and grab that while the water is slightly rising. Where was that? I think that floated from somewhere. Surprised I didn't notice that when I first came out. It may not have been there. A current may have just moved that from somewhere. Lots of stinky gas bubbles. As long as the mud I'm treading in now doesn't get sticky like glue where I can literally get stuck out here. Sometimes you're walking in a swamp, you can literally get stuck. It stinks. Can you hear that? Look at all the bubbles. Lots of stinky swamp gases we are releasing right now. Look at them all. It's not a gas can. Look at all that. That stinks. A lot of this grass you see here is actually floating. All right, definitely not a gas can. Yeah, look at this. All this grass and stuff is floating. Now it's deep, but I think we can get to it. See a little bit of a beaver dam there, and there's a bigger one up there. Cooking oil, maybe? It's not going to say, I don't think. What is this? It's been in the sun a while. Very nasty. All right. Look at that. Baking in the sun. So it's so brittle now. All right. Just came over to the other side of the road to wash my hand off. You can see all the discolored water right there. That's coming from the drainage ditch because it just rained today. Vehicles driving there. It's just washing off. It's coming over. That'll clear up pretty soon. I expected that to be like a big 5-gallon container, not a little 2-gallon container. From that distance, it looked way bigger. I guess not. This area kind of stinks because there's not really any wind. Right there, I just released so many swamp bubbles, gases. So if this area ever dried up like in a drought, all that gas gets released into the air because the water pressure is what's keeping that stuff down. All those little cavities and bubbles are being kept shut by the water pressure. As the water reduces or you stepping on it, it just goes. There's nothing holding them anymore. That's why it's pretty rare actually, because a lot of the ponds we drain are very recent, so they usually don't have that much swamp gas, except when we're walking around. Like a lot of ponds, like over here is typically a good foot of water, not 3 like it is today. So there will be gas bubbles, but usually they don't go off on their own because these pools weren't there for long, obviously, because the road crews would have got to them. But older ones, you'll have like when you drain it. If you go on a road that's been abandoned for a while and we go out and drain it, you have little bubbles going off all over the place because it was being held by that water pressure. It's the first vehicle we've seen out here all day. The good thing about being on a public city road is debris that you find and bring up to the road almost always gets picked up. Out here, it usually doesn't get picked up. In fact, the road crews out here will dump massive 50-foot plastic culverts in the woods. So trash almost never gets picked up in a place like this. And I hate finding a big piece of plastic that we just can't take with us. The thing is so dirty, we don't have the room for any garbage. Because this is a trip that we're out here for a long time. Don't have the space for it. There's no way to dispose of it out here. But we still try to collect a couple cans and stuff and leave them in a pile, and hopefully it gets picked up. Sometimes they disappear. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends on what company's doing it. Some companies love littering and polluting. Some of them will actually pick up their stuff. It all depends. This is a main artery, so it's shared by so many different companies, but who knows who might do it. Those are actually a very common sight on the logging roads. There are blue Bud Light cans everywhere. People love drinking and driving out here. We just hitched a ride, a jumping spider. He's out there on my finger now. We gotta let him outside. Oh my gosh, I blew him off my hand, but he had a web and he was hanging from my hand, and now this guy is on the dashboard, so tearing a piece of paper that I can throw outside with him. It's on the dashboard, come on. Jumping spider. Give him a little tap. Oh, he walked on the paper, but now he jumped again. Hopefully I don't lose him here, because he'll die in here in the heat tomorrow. This guy's running. Oh. Using his web. Every time I get him on the paper, he drops himself onto something else. These guys are usually pretty nice. That's why I'm not afraid to touch him. All right, he just jumped onto my hand. Now he's back onto my pants. Now he's back onto my hand again. And 100% he's on the ground outside. Didn't even need the paper. I just made him walk on my hand. That type of spider's unlikely to bite, so I don't care. I'll just handle him. Alright everyone, at the bottom of this hill is a culvert we unclogged about 6 weeks ago. I came back maybe 3 weeks ago to do a check on it. Beavers had built back nothing, so they may have been trapped, or it's probably just a secondary pond. Are we going to find anything today? Let's see. It's starting to rain again. The beavers flooded it again, it looks like, and it just happened to start raining at the worst moment, because we're going to have to get out now. Look at all the debris the beavers put in the road. Wow, this dam is so much bigger than last time. Look at the dam all along the road. Wow. Wow, this thing is worse than last time. Oh my gosh. And they got so much building material in there. Fortunately, it's raining, but we're still gonna have to get out. Let's find a place to turn around and do this. Alright, we've turned around. This looks like it's going to be a really big one, so I hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Hey everyone, welcome to part 2. I didn't want this video to be too long, so I split this video in half because I know this could take potentially a very long time to unclog. So this location here we unclogged about 6 weeks ago or so, and we came back a couple weeks ago it was not clogged at all, which shows me it is a secondary pond because the beavers didn't build back immediately. So we're back today to unclog it. All the ribbons we put up, obviously, even after that amount of time, road crews did nothing to re-trap the beavers, but that process takes a little bit of time. They got to get the beaver trapper out here. Take a look at this. Last time we were here, water was crossing right here a good amount. It is flooded, but there's not that much happening. Look how big the beaver dam is on the side of the road. 2 feet going across the whole side of the road. That means it's going to be pretty deep to get to what we need to get to, and I may be forced to flood my boots to unclog this one. Hopefully it's not too bad. But look where it's flooding today. This is where I parked last time. This road is very, very flooded today. All the way up here to an elevation I never would have imagined it would have started flooding to. And unfortunately, it started raining literally a minute before we arrived here. So this looks like an abandoned logging road that's completely impassable. You can't even tell it's a road anymore. So I think I might just back in here. I got my tripods and stuff set up from the last unclogging we did today. So yeah, we're just gonna get out in the rain and do it. I just worry about the camera equipment sometimes doing these. But the rain shouldn't last too long, thankfully. All right, before we get anything out, let's evaluate what we got going on. I already got the big high boots on and everything because we did a unclogging about 20 minutes ago. Further down the road, it poured today. So that's why there's a good amount of water going by here. It absolutely poured. Let's hope we don't have any angry beavers. The last time we were here, when we unclogged this pipe, look, they didn't touch any of my debris from last time, but we had a little hill going down to get to the clog. It's so deep this time. How far down is this? They got a lot of big pile right there. Still, I think that's even more water than was going through there last time, but the fact that they built a dam so high to fill in this whole dip that it's backing up way over there. And that right there is from me driving through it a couple times. This is a bigger pipe than you would think. That's a gigantic 36-inch plastic pipe down there. It's big. So, at least it's just sprinkling. Hopefully the rain doesn't pick up. But this is going to be a big process, I think, to get this. Good news is it's not that big of a swamp, so once we get it open a little bit, it'll help us tear it apart, and it should go down fairly fast. It'll be off the road pretty fast, too. Yep, so let's just hope a raindrop doesn't shut off any of the cameras, because they're touchscreen, and that sometimes happens. It's rare, actually. We've recorded so many videos, especially back in the day, but yeah, look at it, it's flooded up here. It's got a bigger area this time, so yeah. And these are most likely beavers. See how the grass is kind of pushed over? The way it's pushed over, I don't think that's current. I think that's a beaver going in and out of there so much. All right, everyone. So I got the rake, got camera number 2. Let's see how this is going to go. I'm hopeful we can get it open. We got it open last time pretty well. 100% open last time. It's just considerably deeper under the water today. And the rain is starting to pick up a lot worse. Last time we were here, it was raining too, and I actually waited for the rain to stop. But today, I don't know if the rain is going to stop. It's supposed to be a pretty rainy day. So, we're going to set camera number 2 up over here. First, looking down into the water, coming out, and then we'll go over to the other side. Unfortunately, I can't put the camera down in the water like I did last time because it's just too deep this time, I think. So we got camera number 2 set up here on the discharge. And like I said, hopefully that camera doesn't shut off because they're touchscreens. I've had it happen. Alright, so where am I even going to put the camera where I have room to be able to throw things up here? Guess we can leave it like this. Maybe we can move the camera when things start to go down. See, I gotta find this thing first. The rain hand's not helping because I can't see under here. Gotta dig until we find the ribs of the culvert. We gotta feel those culvert corrugation. This water's stinky and this stuff's heavy. I don't remember if this pipe comes out far enough to be able to feel it. It might be underneath this rock. That's what I'm trying to feel. Oh, I feel the pipe. I feel part of it. I hope this blockage isn't in the middle. That would be the end of today, and that's the end of this road. I just had my hand inside it. That might mean this pipe is done if that blockage is in the middle. The end of my rake. I'm trying to push through the blockage. And if I can't, something's wrong. Prying whatever was just in the entrance. Any current? I don't feel anything yet. That was inside the pipe. There's a truck coming, I think. Feeling a big stick. Maybe if I can pull some things out of there. It's pretty well open. That's concerning. The blockage might be inside it. And the fact that in a smooth pipe, I'm not able to budge it. This water's gross. Well, I got the rake through it right now. I have no idea how thick this is either. I guess just keep digging for a bit. That's the end of today. Look at that. The rake is gone. It just snapped off inside the pipe. I was like super excited at first, thinking I just pushed the whole rake through the blockage. Nope, I didn't push through the blockage, just the stick did, because the rake popped off. Looking down, zero progress. This one's not coming out of here, and I don't think we can do anything about it, so we gotta wait for the excavator to do it. I am absolutely soaked right now. My shirt is dribbling down into the big high boots, so they're pointless. Very, very wet right now. That was a big failure right there. Now we gotta go get another rake. So, people in the comments asked me, why don't you get a better rake? Because they've seen me break a couple before. Amazingly, I went 4 years with one rake. And then just recently we started breaking them more, because I guess this type of 4-tine rake, I guess, isn't as strong as the old gravel rake we used to use. But people were asking, well, people were saying, this is why you keep breaking them, because I mentioned there was a $17 rake, a discount like $9 rake. Well, this one right here was a $50 rake, and did not make a difference. It's way stronger, and I'll definitely get another one of them, but it still snapped. The only difference is the other ones, they bend easily, and they also bend back easily. This one's very strong, but it just snapped like nothing. So the beavers won here for now until the excavator gets out here and can jam like a telephone pole or something through there. But the first thing that needs to happen here, and thankfully the road's pretty rocky, it's not gonna just wash out at once, but it's pouring, it's gonna keep pouring today, so the beavers won for now, and the trapper has to come out here and get rid of those beavers. That's the first thing that needs to happen, because if the excavator comes out here, if the beavers are determined, they will have it plugged again in a night. The only reason it took us a month to get another blockage there is because they don't live there. They just check on it sometimes. They have ponds they don't live at. So that's what happened. It's just a second reservoir that they have. It's pouring now. We have a couple more places to check. Thankfully, one of the places we check, we typically don't even do it with the rake. We just clean it up with the rake. So we can go and stop there and see what's up for today. Hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Oh, I just realized this road, they're working on it, so maybe by the time we get here next time, they'll have that unclogged. Because just up here, you'll probably see it in a couple of minutes, they're working on the road. They're trimming it, making it wider, and they're also grading it so there's not as much grass growing in it. They're fixing it a whole ton. It's pretty smooth now, but they need to make it 2 lanes because they're about to open it up again for log trucks. It's got to be much wider than it is now. And as soon as we get into the area they're grading, the mud is very loose and slippery, so we won't be able to drive this fast once we get down there. Right now I'm going at about 28 miles an hour, and we're going to have to slow it down quite a bunch once we get up there. Here it is. This looks like the road work starting. Yep. Instantly starting to get slippery, so we got to slow it down now. Now we're going 20, 15, because it's slippery. Mud can be just as slippery as ice in the right situation. This is very slippery. There's not really much to slide into, but it's dangerous when you get in the spot that has the drainage ditches. Go through a big puddle, it looks like chocolate milk all over the windshield. Right here they graded, but it doesn't look like they went down very deep, because you see they pushed everything over, but there's a lot of grass still growing. They're just trying to smooth it out. Yeah, right here, see this drainage ditch? It looks like it has a little bit of problems that the grader can't do, so they're going to have an excavator out here, and hopefully they work on that pipe when they're out here. It's not that far back there. that is now something I don't think we can do. Maybe because we're gonna have a lot of dry weather coming up soon, which is a lot hotter, maybe we can go back there and take a look at it when it's not flowing much, and we can actually be there a long time. Because I don't think the dam is in the center of it, I just think the dam is extremely thick compared to last time, because in a beaver's mind, when they come back and their dam is gone, they think it failed, so they always build it back twice as good. They build back stronger every single time. That's why these videos, as we do them in the same location, they usually get more and more frustrating, because the beaver will start incorporating rocks into it, larger material, pricker bushes, all kinds of stuff that they think is going to make it stronger. We're slipping, fishtailing a little right there. That's what the problem is. I usually don't use it to save gas. Four-wheel drive might do a little better, since it's not just trying to push me into, that helped a little bit. Rain's picking up again. This is very slippery, this spot. Wow, very slippery. And we're only going 15. Whoa. They're logging up that road. That's all freshly done. Despite today being a very rainy day, they have been trapping beavers this year like crazy now. So it's getting very hard to make these videos at the moment. That's why I'm not uploading as much at the moment. Most of the videos I am uploading are old, from the spring or early summer, because now the young beavers are old enough that they can start trapping and hunting off the other beavers without worrying about it. So that's why there's not as many problems, despite it still being a rainy year. They're trapping these beavers like crazy and hunting them off. So that means sometimes we gotta drive over 1,000 miles just to find one blockage. It's slowly becoming infeasible this time of year. It happens every summer. I'm lucky that we were able to do this up until August. Usually we transition into different types of things around June because of it. But it's been a very rainy year, overwhelming year with the beavers. It's finally starting to slow down a bit.